Once upon a time, in the magical land of Oz, where the skies shimmered like blue candy and the trees wore leaves of every color, there lived a girl named Scraps. Now, Scraps was not your ordinary girl. Oh no! She was a patchwork girl, stitched together with all sorts of colorful fabric. Each piece told a story, from polka dots to stripes, and even some sparkly bits that twinkled like stars. One sunny morning, Scraps woke up with a bright idea. "I want to explore Oz!" she exclaimed, her eyes shining like two little lanterns. "Maybe I'll find new friends or have exciting adventures." And just like that, off she went, hopping down the yellow brick road with her patchwork arms waving in the air. As Scraps bounced along, she met a familiar friend, the Scarecrow. He was standing in a field of corn, looking thoughtful. "Hello there, Scraps," he called out, tipping his floppy hat. "What brings you here?" "I'm going on an adventure," she said with a giggle. "Do you want to join me?" The Scarecrow scratched his head with a cornstalk. "Oh dear, I would love to. But I can't seem to find my brain today." Scraps laughed lightly. "No worries, you're already as wise as can be. Let's go find it together." And so they traveled side by side. With every hop and skip, they sang silly songs about corn and clouds. "If I had a brain," the Scarecrow sang, "I'd think of all the things I could gain." Scraps twirled around him, her patchwork skirt flaring out like a colorful flower. As they journeyed deeper into Oz, they stumbled upon a sparkling river. The water glimmered like diamonds under the sun. Suddenly, they heard a loud splash. "Help! Help!" cried a little voice. "Oh no!" shouted Scraps as they rushed to the riverbank. There they found a tiny fish flopping around on the shore. "What happened?" asked the Scarecrow, leaning down curiously. "I jumped out to catch some air," said the fish with big round eyes. "But now I can't get back." "Don't worry," said Scraps cheerfully. "We'll help you." With all her might, she gently scooped up the little fish and tossed him back into the water with a splash. "Thank you," bubbled the fish as he swam in circles of joy. "You're both heroes." Feeling proud and happy, Scraps and the Scarecrow continued on their way until they reached a beautiful garden filled with flowers that danced in the breeze. Suddenly, they heard someone humming a cheerful tune. "Who could that be?" wondered Scraps aloud. As they approached, they found the Tin Man polishing his shiny body. "Oh, hello there," he said with his gentle metallic voice. "I'm just making sure I shine bright for all my friends." "Do you want to join our adventure?" asked Scraps eagerly. "Oh, yes. But first," said the Tin Man dramatically, "I need some oil for my squeaky joints." "Let's find some," said Scraps confidently. Together, they set off again in search of oil until they found an old wooden barrel by an oak tree. The Tin Man oiled himself up and suddenly felt like dancing. With every twist and turn, he clinked and clanked merrily. "What fun we are having!" cheered Scraps as she joined in for an impromptu dance party under the sun. Suddenly, as they twirled around in glee, a dark shadow loomed overhead. It was Glinda the Good Witch flying by on her sparkling bubble. "Hello, friends," she called down with her warm smile. "I see you're having quite an adventure." "Yes, we are," replied Scraps excitedly. "But we're also looking for my friend's brain." "Well," Glinda said thoughtfully as she floated down gracefully, "sometimes brains are not just about being smart, it's about caring for your friends too." Scraps smiled wide. She knew that her heart was full of love and friendship, and so were her friends. As day turned to dusk, Scraps turned to her companions. "We've had an amazing adventure today. We may not have found a brain for you yet," she pointed at Scarecrow playfully. "But we have each other." The Scarecrow nodded thoughtfully. "That's true. Perhaps my heart is what really matters." The Tin Man chimed in cheerfully. "And what better adventure is there than sharing love and kindness?" With that thought twinkling in their minds like stars above them, Scraps and her friends made their way back home under the golden sunset sky. And so ended their wonderful day filled with laughter and friendship in magical Oz. Because sometimes adventures are not just about finding things, they're about discovering how special we are when we are together. And from that day on, whenever anyone asked if they were brave or smart or shiny, they simply smiled and said, "We have hearts full of love, and that makes us truly rich. So remember, dear listeners, whether you're colorful like Scraps or shiny like the Tin Man, it's our friendships that make every adventure magical. The end.